First time I try to go back and take transit, cost me $16 again. Hello to you. It's 2.5 hours till I catch my flight, and I still have to get a bus out of Lower Town here. There's a Saints game going on, so it's crowded and expensive. This video takes place betwixt the events of my recently posted Illinois videos. It was a hot September Saturday when I parked in Lowertown, St. Paul, and caught a Metro Transit Route 54 bus to MSP Airport Terminal 1, and the Blue Line LRT one stop south to the Humphrey Terminal, Terminal 2. From there I was flying in the exit row of a Sun Country flight 737-800 to Chicago O'Hare Airport. I'd be staying on the Loop tonight at Hosteling International's enormous Chicago location. A bed in their dorm room with as many as 11 others was barely more than $30. The next morning I would be taking Metra out to Naperville, where I'd pick up Amtrak's Carl Sandburg to that train's namesake's birthplace, our destination of Galesburg, Illinois. This is the beginning of the trip to Galesburg, Illinois. Tomorrow I'm taking Amtrak's Carl Sandburg and spending a night in Galesburg, and then the day after that I'm taking Amtrak's Illinois Zephyr back into Chicago to connect with the Borealis. Today we get to do an unwinding ride into the Loop on the Blue Line tonight, and Hosteling International. I'm going to be staying there again this December. Today is going to be the much more likely to be fair weather trip to Chicago, albeit just for one night. Tomorrow morning we'll be up really early, as you've already seen in the Amtrak video, and I suspect that should be a pretty routine trip. The ride back, that might have some more surprises. I kid you not, that TSA took maybe 90 seconds. Okay, I like evening flights, I guess. I hadn't eaten enough and espoused all terminal offerings because I promised you, the viewers of these travelogues, a taste of the Sun Country Airlines snack boxes. Though our flight today is scheduled to take only around an hour in the skies, there should be ample time for the cabin crew to host a drink and light snack service for the just over 20 passengers aboard today's flight. Today's aircraft was another of Sun Country's longest tenured leased Boeing 737-800s. With so few passengers boarding today, I had no worries about any quality of life issues that can happen during packed flights operated by ultra-low-cost carriers. Checking in, there was only about 20-ish people that had seats on this flight, so it'll be curious to see if anybody else is on board, or if this is a really lightly populated flight to Chicago.
We are ready to start our pre-boarding process with passengers with disabilities.
I'm not the last. Definitely not the first. Sun Country's had this O'Hare route for 6 years now. I flew it on the first week it was operating. I really wish they could serve Midway Airport in Chicago, but as a vacation airline, they're much better suited for Terminal 5 at O'Hare, where connections around the world can be made without changing terminals. Unless that connecting flight is with United, in which case they'd be taking the ATS train to the main terminals, as we'll be doing in a little over 2 hours upon our Saturday evening arrival. Sun Country has two snack boxes. One is sweeter and the other more savory. I went with the bistro box. It's got some almonds and pita chips, salty both, that go well with the hummus. I had a tonic with lime to offset the brownie brittle and to blend with the fruit bar. The olives were fine, and there was a wet nap to take care of handling it all. $9 is all this will set you back, and they take credit cards. Along with the fried rice I made earlier at home, I got through this flight and on into Chicago without feeling either famished nor too full. A flight from Minneapolis to Chicago is hardly much to note on video. But once on the ground at O'Hare, the highlight of this journey has to be the obnoxious taxiway routing of most flights I've had that aren't aboard United Airlines. This evening in 2025, in September, there was apparently a construction project or something obstructing this, the most direct route from our runway on the north perimeter of the airfield and Terminal 5, the farthest flung gates from where we landed and were due in. No, tonight we would be making this ridiculous route around every terminal prior to coasting by the aircraft overnight holding pads and a vast abyss of colorful lights in the night. I could forgive passengers not paying attention if it seemed as if we'd landed in Milwaukee and then drove the aircraft down the Tri-State Tollway for the last half hour of the trip. I guess it pays to know your airport's layout charts, right? We go from a bunch of places in MSP that I just won't eat at, buy a $9 snack box in the sky, immediately land, taxi for half as much time as it took us to fly here, and I'm pretty sure we drove through part of Wisconsin on the taxiway. So let's go get to the ATS. I can remember coming through there in security as well. Not the most fun experience or fast. O'Hare Terminal 5 continues its interior expansion and renovation. At least we're not arriving at the gates down on the far south end tonight. Closed. Those doors didn't tell me to keep walking. I don't know why some places do that. Oh, I remember when this was just a bunch of buses. Those were dark times. Yes, please. The Airport Transportation System, or ATS, is back to fully open after several years of construction effects. As this night was originally planned, I would have been going the opposite way to the Pace bus stop to catch the 3:30 bus to LaGrange, and then an outbound Metra BNSF line train, the last of the evening, to Downers Grove. But the hostel in the Loop became my lodging for the night after I was unable to change my form of payment to be used for the suburban homestay that I had initially planned. It was also a fair bit cheaper. You know, it's the part of the world-class transit system where you walk through the airport parking garage like side stairwell. You know that part? I'm sure this doesn't confuse anyone. It does seem a little fresher than the last time I was here. Now I'm really back. I'm hearing Ventra beeps. The CTA Blue Line is the most convenient way from O'Hare Airport to the Loop if you ignore the oddly long underground pedway that connects the airport to the heavy rail metro line. Why yes, people do smoke cannabis on CTA trains, but not typically for the entire length of your ride, except for Green Line trains mostly.
Doors closing. Doors closing. Rosemont is next. Doors closing.
This This ride didn't see a resident smoker until Rosemont, and he got off at Jefferson Park. Once in the subway, I alight at Jackson, which most people consider to be among the worst stations, but given how populated it typically is, I've always found both Jackson stations and the transfer tunnel that connects the Blue and Red Line to be a quintessential experience when moving about downtown Chicago. My hostel experiences continue to be good ones. HI Chicago's got a convenient location for wanderers due out of or coming into Chicago's train stations. The beds were clean, bunk beds not at all squeaky, and the restrooms were very well tended to. My room's view of the South Side elevated line was the icing on this very cheap cake. The next morning I was up at 5:30 a.m. to make the walk over to Union Station to catch the first outbound BNSF line train of this Sunday. Check out that video already on the channel, as well as the video on Amtrak's Carl Sandburg that details the train taking me from Naperville to Galesburg in Venture Business Class. And this one has rails for the armrests. Better than Venture coaches. We should be getting the Carl Sandburg on the outbound and a Metra, the NSF train on the inbound. 4617. I think I'm gonna like it here. It'd be a great place to go, but it's closed on the weekends. We'll come back here later so we can get some sunnier shots. Not look like looking into the sun, but sun on all that.
Please be advised that checked baggage is available for your train.
This is the bar with the sign that says fun and romance. There's a lot of antique and rummage stores here. I think I picked very well. My aunt had this TV. I've seen that deck in YouTube videos. This one too. No, don't throw them. It is slightly older than the one that my grandparents used to own. Didn't have all the extra cabinetry. Oh, it's an original. And all the CED types. Oh dear, what's going on? Is it supposed to do that? Is it sidewalk or yard? It can be both. Your mom, Galesburg. So it's going to be hot today, but the sound of the locusts is going to be beautiful. I like this place so far. It's very blended Illinois, Iowa kind of feel. The walk to this house is a few more blocks up this way. They are long blocks to walk, but I've got the whole day and I can do whatever I want. Trains, walking, antiquing, refreshments. That's the plan. I could see how you could want to have a rental car for this size of a town, but what are people going to say? Like, what else are you going to do? Walk a few blocks? Yeah, that I am. This house is close to this hospital of historic and new architecture. I see the reasons why people might need to come here, both tourist and professional. And here we are. I think this was an old gas station. So we are here, but we cannot get through that door yet. So I will have to await the owner returning. I already called him to confirm this isn't just a house out here. There's 3 office chairs and I can hear trains. So after, hopefully we'll get some water when we get inside, let our bag go. I already got sunscreen on. It's starting to get really kind of warm. So we're gonna have to go find some indoor activities today. But first we gotta wait out this house. Well, the house inside is very nice. The porch tells lies. It's a very quaint little room, which I'll be glad to show you later, and it has air conditioning. We're going to get hot and humid today, but we're going to go do some looking at the antiques, buying a few. I think I could even use some lunch. Theater showing Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Probably be unsurprising to learn I was raised on that movie. There it is. Probably a good idea to close this street. The Railroad Hall of Fame is closed on Sunday. We knew the museum was closed. This was a pattern, and yet I still remain confident. And I have to go to Plan B. There's an old filling station. Well, apparently they're having a concert in the barn, and fella said just make myself at home, set my bag down. They got air conditioning, plenty of books in there. Let's go check it out. things I just walk into, I tell ya. The way the train sounds come from over there, and there's words on the bricks in the ground, and there's music, and there's air conditioning mostly. That's what this is now.
Well, her mother is from this little town called. Oh, really? No, the church was had a ghost.
You know, if wherever you're from lost all of its small town charm, probably come out here to Galesburg. I still got some to kick around here. I had really wanted to try baked pizzas on Seminary Street, but their Sunday closure sent me over to Jimmy's, a northwestern Illinois local pizza place and bar. They were between lunch and dinner, my ideal time to sit down and eat almost immediately. The bacon pizza was a thrifty choice with a great thin crust. That was a pretty good bacon pizza, Plan B. Let's go watch the trains come in. Come on. I do believe that is the PTZ rail cam.
Inquire at the Amtrak ticket counter if checked baggage is available for your train or destination.
cut off too much. For many decades, the Santa Fe Railroad ran a depot right here in the kind of north center of town. But Amtrak uses the Burlington Depot on the southeast corner of Old Galesburg. This doesn't get nearly as much freight traffic as the other line, but this is the one that continues on to Kansas City. That you have that big junction west of town that we took on the Southwest Chief. So yeah, just signal boxes and history. I got out of Galesburg way more than the little I contributed to it today. This small city sees so many trains through it daily, fewer tourists at this point in history. But with Amtrak keeping additional passenger trains on the schedule, you can somewhat easily construct a day or weekend to decompress here. It's plenty lovely. The bed is very nice. I got a great night's sleep in my homestay room and awoke at first light to catch Monday's eastbound Illinois Zephyr to Chicago, where the Borealis will be my train back to St. Paul. If you haven't seen that video, check it out, though I'll say the trip back couldn't hold a candle to the hot, late summer Sunday I spent in Galesburg. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next trip.